We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Putella.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2236. Today, Jill and I are talking about why double closing land rarely works and what's better.
So, you and I were watching some YouTube video, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it was a commercial or was happened to be what we were watching, they had In-N-Out. Was that, am I dreaming that, or is that?
No, I actually, now that you mention it.
You remember seeing In-N-Out burger? So I have to just pause and say, when I read this title, double closing made me think of double cheeseburger. So I have to just put that out there. We have no food in our house right now, so I might even be willing to make the sacrifice and go get it if we need to.
Go get In-N-Out?
Yeah, when was the last time we had In-N-Out? It's probably been 6 months or so.
You know, nobody west of or east of Arizona even knows what that is, right?
It's a West Coast White Castle.
Yeah, that's it.
There.
Perfect.
Thank you. And I have had White Castle once.
It's 2 or 3 notches below McDonald's.
You know, it is not. It's above McDonald's.
Okay.
I did not.
These people,
hey, if you want to talk about it, I did not appreciate the soggy
that
bun.
are born and bred in Southern California they are taught by their parents and by their teachers that they are the elite group of Americans, where they all design stuff and then it just works its way east.
That sounds very negative, and I do not believe that.
You, my friend, are the exception.
Well,
And I mean that.
I'm just saying. Come on, East Coast people have their own things. There are people that are New York nutty and then will never live anywhere else. You know, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying they're so love it, and it's the best, and so it can apply to.
I've never lived anywhere.
I know a lot of cities that are like that when you think about it. I know little mountain towns that are like have really big heads.
I've never lived anywhere where I've like hardcore defended the town that I've lived in, or where I'm from, or any of that. I don't know why. Maybe it's me.
Maybe it's you.
Like, did you ever just seriously defend Garden Grove? See what I mean? You laugh. Because I have not defended Detroit.
I'm sorry. Did you just say what I think you said? You know. Okay. This is good. Garden Grove in the house.
Or Detroit, too. Oh, Detroit's awesome.
God,
that was a great adolescent experience I had there.
That's a great.
In fact, I don't even aspire to live anywhere else.
But I am very proud of my background. I am not. I love it. I don't brag about it like, well, it's not like what I had in Garden Grove in front of us. Could you imagine?
Look, I'm not knocking Michigan or California. 2 great places. But
like
Detroit and Los Angeles have some severe problems that they're not going to recover from.
Nobody had it as great as we did in Garbage Grove. So,
what are we even talking about? Oh, hamburgers is how I got this. Okay.
Sorry. All right. This topic is going to be over fast, so this is kind of why we're doing it. We're going to explain it, and it's a disaster, this topic. Go ahead.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum. Take a deep dive into land-related topics by your request. I want to know why it's going to be a disaster. I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, I have a
lot
to
double
say.
Closing, sure.
Yeah, it's horrible. Okay.
This is Jill's show today.
Yeah. This is going to be...
Get some popcorn.
I need to sit on my hands.
Jill doesn't rant very often, but I feel it coming.
Yes. Okay. First, the question. Scott R. wrote, "Hello, all. I just finished Land Academy version 3.0 and gearing up for my first mailers, hopefully. Seems like photos are a critical part of the sales side of things. What best practices do you have / recommend for finding local photographers in a given area that can shoot the land, drone footage, etc.? I don't have any specific area in mind at this time, just more looking to understand the process of procuring photos as well as directional costs for the service. Appreciate any feedback you're able to provide. Thanks." I'm willing to bet that by the time we have read this question because it's probably been in Discord for a couple days. There's probably been people going, here's what I usually spend. Here's a list of what I do. And by the way, I have a guy for this area, this area, this area, this area, and this area. Because that's the power of your community and Discord. It's just like that.
Very recently, in the whole scheme of things, let's say in the last 15 or 20 years, internet marketing and how you present whatever you're trying to communicate, whether it's selling a piece of land or whatever you're trying to communicate, marketing is imperative. So think about if you go on Facebook Marketplace or just out on Google or anything else, because you're thinking about buying yourself a new car or your daughter a new car. You know, is one picture with one description saying, I'm done with this car, it's $22,000 and here's my phone number, with one picture of it. And it's not the picture, it's the picture when they bought it.
Yeah.
Because they're too lazy to lift up the right finger on their phone. So which one do you want? There's opposite extremes there. Then the opposite extreme is, here's this amazing piece of property. Here's 100 pictures of it. Here's some drone footage. And here's, this is an opposite extreme. I'm not saying you should do this. Me walking around the property with Jill, with the GoPro.
Camping.
Or just staying on there, having a blast.
Yeah.
Showing everybody how you can use it and what's possible and all the attributes. You know, which one are you more likely to respond to in a favorable way? Right. So you have to find a medium between those two that you're comfortable with, that works, and it's economical. Perfect. And it's not grossly time consuming. You can waste your whole life creating marketing scenarios on the internet. It's not my favorite part of this business.
Well, not only that, every single time we accidentally visit our land, then all of a sudden now Jack goes and removes it from the for sale list.
Only to be sold 2 years later.
Exactly. When he's not looking. So this is the problem too. If you go stand on your own land, there's a good chance you're going to keep it. So careful.
It's all true.
Yeah.
Pictures are imperative. If you go to Landio, LANDIO.com, this is a member in Land Academy. I think he's still a member.
Yes.
And he's just a master marketer. The way that he presents land is just it's a 10 out of 10 star presentation.
True.
So yeah, you need pictures. You need a great description. If you can get a video, that's even better. This day and age now, I can't imagine selling really anything without a video. Unless the land is terrible, like in the middle of the desert and you can't get to it, you only paid $1,000 for it. You know, on $1,000 piece of property that you're selling for $2,500,
you still want pictures and stuff.
You got to have pictures. Exactly. You
still want to do that. You want to properly convey what it is.
You just can't go broke doing that.
True.
So you got to find out where it makes sense.
You can't spend $1,000 on the stuff.
Yeah.
If it's a $40,000 property, you can.
Right. Today's topic, why double closing land rarely works and what's better. Here's the definition of double close, and then you can watch, if you're on YouTube here, steam come out of Jill's ears. I go send out a bunch of mail, and somebody signs in my offer and sends it back. And I say, call the seller, and I say, great, $20,000 works for you, it works for me. I don't really even look it up. I don't care. I don't care about the property, and I don't care about the person that I'm talking to on the phone. I'm signing it. They signed it. I'm signing it. Great. And then I'm going to give now it's under contract, and I theoretically open escrow. So the seller.
Equitable title.
Correct. So the seller is all excited because chances are, well, you didn't renegotiate the deal. $20,000 is great. It's more than they thought they would get. And so in 30 days, they're expecting some money. Instead, what you do is you go remarket the property for $30,000. By the way, it's not worth any. There's no math. There's no due diligence. There's no, I'm going to check to see if this is really a good deal. Mrs. Smith, the seller, I don't care about her. She's just it was just a one conversation I was going to have, and I don't even look at her as a human. I just look at her as somebody where I'm going to make 10 grand. So there's $20,000 purchase price. I don't ante up at all. I just open escrow and I remarket the property, shop it all over the internet, everywhere, because that's the core of my business, is remarketing and trying to reach as many people.
Find a buyer.
If you're in this business for more than 10 minutes, you get 300 emails from people that are trying to resell property like that, houses and land.
True.
A very small percentage get resold. So what ends up happening is double closing is irresponsible. The person that's orchestrating it doesn't care at all. They just want the $10,000 and they want to repeat it over and over and over again. And they're almost always out of business a year later.
It's hard. Well, the thing about it too is there's a lot of escrow companies that are putting the kibosh down on that, number one. Number two, I know too many people that don't even really properly tell the seller what's going on, like you just said. I'm sure there are some that say, here's a deal. I'm going to now go do this, so you're giving me the option. I'm going to go and put it on the internet and see if I can get you your 20 grand, basically. They don't even really understand it. And then the other thing is too, there's a gray area in the middle where you're not the owner and you're running around trying to sell a property on behalf of the owner with this equitable title. Some states are cracking down on that, saying you need to be an agent or something here, because there's a gray area where it almost looks like you could be representing that seller and you're taking this, commission or whatever you want to call it, the triage in the middle here. That could be a problem. And so there's a lot of states that are, like I said, putting their foot down and not allowing that. And I kind of agree with that.
Me too.
So we've never done that. Like, it's never been my jam. We've always had the feeling that if I love the property, I'm buying it. I am putting my money where my mouth is. I own it. And I never get in trouble for that. And that's what's so great. So many times people have, when I'm selling property, they don't know, or someone calls about something. I'm like, no, it's mine. I own it. Oh, well, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I can do whatever I want with it. I can sell it right now or not sell it. I could sell it this way or not sell it that way. Whatever. I have all the control. Some of the things that can go wrong too are, let's just say your scenario is going perfectly. You explain it, you do everything right, you explain it to Mrs. Smith, here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go out and try to shop it, and it's taking you a little time. Well, because you kind of don't really care about it. Remember, too, you didn't put any money down, so you're trying to sell it, but you've got 6 other ones that you're working on, too. So you kind of forget about Mrs. Smith. You don't really check in very often, whatever. So, but then another 6 weeks goes by, and you get a bite, and they want to buy it. You're like, awesome. It's $28,000. It's not 30, 35 I was going for, but you know what? So what? Now I'm going to call Mrs. Smith and put this all together. Mrs. Smith doesn't answer. She thought you forgot about her. She moved on. She changed her mind. She decided she's going to keep it. She listed it with an agent. She sold it to her brother, something like that, because all this time passed, and she's like, he's not selling it, but maybe it's worth something.
You were playing for her for a fool.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can sell him out. He never called me back, so I'm just going to go do this. And now you're like, great. I wasted all that time, all that energy, and all that. And you're like, but hold on, Jill. I have equitable title, a piece of paper. Okay. Do you really want to sue Mrs. Smith at this point? Are you really going to do that? No, you're not. It's not worth it. And there's going to be probably some legal things that could come back your direction that will make it not worth your while.
This business model, from start to finish, is tainted and bad and slimy. Yeah. Period. You are circumventing all the stuff that makes good real estate investment profitable and good. Good for the seller, good for the buyer, and good for the end user.
As much as I'm against people that, go get a loan real quick and they buy the property and then they do whatever with the loan and they try to pay it off real quick, I would much rather you do that. And
how much time and resources this takes to this business model?
True.
Versus, sifting through all the stuff up front. In the example I was using, that's, sure, $20,000 works great. You going back and saying, you know what, this property doesn't have access. Mrs. Smith, $20,000, I'm glad you signed the offer and thank you, but we're uncovering some other stuff that we didn't realize about your property. So I'll tell you, at $12,000, I can buy it and we can close in a few days. Mm-hmm. You can be done with it. I'm going to do what I'm going to do with it. And let's just all be real honest and straight with each other. And I'm happy to take the risk to resell it or however you want to explain it to her without lying and without being dishonest.
I love that. And I was going to add, what you just said is why we get these deals. Yeah. I can't tell you how many deals that I buy and own and have sold, and I think that these people might have been out there waiting. Like, I'm one that came in behind him and bought the property.
Yeah.
And it was for less. I said, look, this guy told me he'd buy it for me for 20. I'm like, where'd he go? I would have done that too. She's like, I don't know. I guess it wasn't real then. I said, yeah, I'll give you 12, like you just said. I can give you 12 right now today. It's real. I'm here. Let's do this. I've done all my homework. We've had the conversation, and I'm buying it. I'm opening escrow, and it will close on the 30th, whatever it is. Okay, Jill, let's go.
Over the years, I've had the opportunity to ask people pretty repeatedly why if people that are in this business of double close, why they do it this way.
Yeah.
And their first reaction, every one of them without exception, their first reaction is, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. And the fact is, when I dig deeper and say, wait a second, why don't you just buy the property? What I uncover eventually, after asking 50 questions, is that they don't have confidence in valuing an asset, doing due diligence, the basic stuff that we do in Land Academy here and that we teach. They don't have that personal confidence. And what's worse, because everybody starts out with not having that confidence, including me and Jill.
So you have us.
You learn.
Yeah.
You learn by making mistakes. You learn by going to our Thursday call. That's how you learn and become a real, actual investor. It's way more efficient to do 10 or 15 or 20 deals a year where you had a relationship or have a relationship with the seller. You're building a team on your side. You're employing the right real estate agent for your transaction and making $20,000 or $30,000 a deal. If you're doing 10, 20, 30 deals a year, that's between $20,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 and $1 million a year. Mm-hmm. And you sleeping really well at night.
Well, I'd say another reason when I ask people why they're doing it, it's like, I don't have the money. Well, I do. Oh, yeah. Let's make sure it's worth 20. And I'll come back and go, it's not worth 20. They'll go, oh. And then it comes to your thing.
I have respect for real estate.
Know. It's not worth 20, but it's worth 10.
I have respect for real estate. I have respect for money.
Yeah.
And for people.
I do too. That's smart.
And that business model
True.
There's no respect for any of that. It's just burn through it and take out of it what I think I should take out. And it always ends. I have yet to see anyone who's still in business after years of doing it that way, but we're all still here.
Yeah.
Join us tomorrow where Jill and I discuss the best way to find off-market land deals in 2025. It is, after all, off-market week. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.